welcome to Reed's Spider-Man Crawl Space Edition. Check us out, the SpiderManCrawlspace.com. Well, everybody, I've come here after delays, of course, not on my case, of course, as I finally get to review Ultimate Spider-Man number 23 by Jonathan Hickman, with art by Mark Checchetto and David Messa here as we get into the final stories, because there's only one issue left, guys, and then that's it for Ultimate Spider-Man as we get into the big battle with the Maker. So, how did this delayed issue really fit up? What did I really like, and what could have been a little bit better? Let's get into the pros. Number one is I do like the fact we're getting everything in here where they're going into what has happened. We finally do, even though we've never really seen Otto become Dr. Octopus, the whole piece is there, the ego, the attitude, and I actually do like the scenes between Otto, Mary Jane, and Peter about the things they've done, and him also saying too that, I can't stop your own kids. They are who they are, just like me. I wish nobody would have stopped me when I was growing up. It really adds a very interesting parallel development, as Otto is not a parent. He's basically been a servant, but he himself knows he's was meant to do other things in his life. And also the defensive of Peter and Mary Jane. This comes off as two parents concerned about their child. Now, granted, same thing with me as a father of a teenager myself and a high school teacher. There does come a fine line between, you want to protect your kids, and there also comes a point too where there is things you can't stop them. I really do like this part of it. The one thing that's always worked with the Spider-Man here, and I'm not on the scene here in the picture, the part where May actually tells Otto, we expected better out of you, was fantastic. But it really shows why this book works so much was the Parker family dynamic, which I think has been the biggest strong point the last 2 years of these characters and what's been missing in the main Spider-Man book. Continuing with that on, I do like how we get more about why the Mole Man turned on a thing, exactly what's been going on with everything himself too, about saying about, waiting for them all to join and dug up from thing. It's really nice to see that the Sinister Six was going to fall apart. The Kingpin's little thing, even with Mr. Negative, the cracks were there, and as more time go on, we kind of see that about why they were ever together in the first place and what their motivations. I really like this version of the Mole Man because it shows some of the earlier work in the John Byrne expressive, as well as a little bit about the Mark Waid version of the Mole Man, where he worries about his people and his subterranean, but he does get to the point too where it's like, I'm not for the old show. I've always done it for my people and for making things are, and people just leaving me alone. It's really good. I like this version of the Mole Man. I really wish we'd get more version of this, and I have liked how everything's gone with the Sinister Six. And I have to say, when it finally comes down, when Mr. Negative and the Kingpin are finally going over, and Mr. Negative basically explained that he blew literally everything up and how he basically phoned it, and now it's just time to end things with the Kingpin. I like it because we saw this all coming. We knew it was not only going to fall apart, but it was going to become by these two people. Kingpin blinded by his ego and obviousness that was in front of him, thinking I'm in charge, even though I've been given all this power. And Mr. Negative going like, "You idiot! You absolute idiot!" It is just fantastic, especially when they get in the nod problem. I have to say the one thing that is hurt me, because despite the thing with the Osborn family, especially after we found out that the Mysterios all merged into basically the mystical being to do this, the fact is it basically comes that Harry, being a loyal husband, but the fact he was manipulated, that the Mysterios really had their own agenda. And even when they get into the piece too, has been honestly thing. Mysterio is my favorite Spider-Man villain, and I've loved how this went up. But now I'm kind of thinking where even the AI suit says, well, duh, Harry, what did you think was going to happen? It feels like everything's coming up where it's like, hey, we all saw this, the old dramatic irony. The audience knew something before the main characters come, but it does hurt because it makes Harry kind of come off that he's a little bit, he did not see all this stuff happening. He got kind of screwed over, and he should have just seen it coming. And the fact, even when Brian Braddock's of the Ultimate Universe basically say, "So we finally made here. I knew this day would come. What are you gonna do now? You want to be in charge? Could you do it better than me? Well, let's find out. If not, hey, you gave it a good run." It's like they don't care about the big fallen plan. They're kind of like, hey, whatever. The Maker's coming back in less than 5 weeks. We don't care anymore at this time. You've done your little game. Let's just do it. It kind of actually hurts the story because I feel like we kept going to this build 2 years here, and then basically it's some of the bad guys are like, whatever, versus what happened with Mr. Negative and the Kingpin and everything going on with the paper and Jameson and the Peter Parker family. It feels like that's all had of this thing. This feels like something was rushed. And I know because the issue is ending and it's trying to be on Hickman's terms, it has hurt it. And I did like the ending too, where basically the big reveal of Mr. Negative is like, hey, you didn't know it was Parker? You didn't know his uncles were doing this? Oh, come on, Wilson. Are you an idiot? And it basically leads here to, well, okay, and now Kingpin's more just angry. He didn't not only see it, but he'd rather say, "Hey, I call it truce because I want to destroy Spider-Man. He's ruined my life." very supervillain cliche moment, which also kind of hurts even though I like it, as well as everything that happened with Black Cat and Richard with the Pico suit and the fact they kind of say, this wasn't a good idea. Well, the stupid thing us teenagers do with our hormones and thinking we can be smarter than we are. It's not bad and it's kind of thing. And I think there's going to be a new little part on this too, but I think the opening was much stronger versus what here. Richard has been a fantastic character. I felt built and built throughout the entire series, as well as things here with Felicia Harding in this version of the universe, and their relationship actually works good, but they are being dumb teenagers, which kind of flew off a little bit of the part too. I also just think it was a thing. I mean, the ending's pretty good because we know there's one issue left. We did feel like with the difference between Checchetto and Messina, that the artwork was kind of changed. You could tell the story was changed. That they had to get things concluded. They had to get things set up for the big wrap up storyline starting next month, and that really kind of hurt the book, I think, a little bit because I think the ending when he just gets back up after getting his butt kicked to him by the Kingpin and Mr. Negative says, "Hey guys, I'm ready to. I'm not getting started." And they look at him like, "What?" Like it's a great hero moment, and it's this is Spider Man, but it's like you kind of saw it. I've loved this series. I know they're getting ready. They're getting ready to wrap it up. I know they've done things, so I will give what it is. But I'm gonna have to give the issue a B. I was very happy with it. I think the art styles worked, especially between the Mysterio and Green Goblin moments with Messina, as well as the great stuff with Checchetto, which kept the pieces. And honestly, I like these versions of a lot of these characters, especially Mole Man and Mister Negative. I feel like these are the kind of characters and I do like Mister Negative, so I just prefer this version over the 616 a little bit more. Guys, that's all I have to say here. That's going to be it for my reviews for 2025. This wraps it all up in here. So if you like what you want and more of what I got coming in 2026, and trust me, I got plenty coming, think of liking and subscribing to the channel. Definitely check us out on our different areas and our Discord, as well as our other social medias over on the SpidermanCrawlspace.com. And for everybody who has supported this channel, these reviews, and everybody at the Crawl Space, all my fellow reviewers and everything, thank you so much for your support and your gumping as well as patience with me over what's been a very interesting year. So, guys, thank you again so much. And on that note, I'll see everyone on the Crawl Space. Read out.